Hello, lovely people. Just a wee word about the U2 tribute record. It is all of the proceeds of this are intended to go towards the RED charity, which is their main aim is to eliminate the AIDS virus throughout the world. And even from your guys' buying the wee CD and on iTunes, etc., we've been able to raise over $500 just these last couple of weeks. So we'll send off whatever that is every month and let you know how that's going. This is just a wee interview that you're about to hear that I did a few years ago with my good friend Matt Fehlert, aka The Silent P, and he's the graphic artist that designed all of the Yes the Raven records and kind of put together the Bach graphics as well. So check him out, if you need any graphic design and stuff. He's a brilliant guy and a lovely gentleman. He lives in Asheville, North Carolina. So this is a wee interview, and hope you enjoy it. Toodaloo.
Turns to rust, beaten and blown by the wind, trampled in dust. I'll show you a place high up on the desert plain.
These U2 songs started to kind of come in droves, and really just opened this this rich kind of vein, during the summer, which was a bit annoying, to be honest, because I was planning to do my own music and the antenna that you have up, to kind of write songs. These U2 covers were kind of usurping everything,
taking over
because those kind of covers come to you just like your own songs in a way.
Where the streets have no name, where the streets have no name. Still building and burning down love, burning down love. And when I go there with you.
I'd like to, make this album just totally, all the profits go towards their RED charity, which I think is a really awesome thing. It's not just an AIDS medicine charity, which it is too, but it's something that's like where they become this kind of enormous advocate, for people who don't have a voice, the poorest of the poor, so that's something that I'm interested in, and hopefully just that this album would be like this wee loaves and fishes kind of offering,
right. So U2 Covered in Love. Talk to me a little bit about your early experience as far as the band, the relation you had with U2 as a band. Always a fan, or?
I remember seeing, I guess on TV, seeing some kind of footage of U2 live. I don't know, it must have been around that Rattle and Hum time or something. And just vaguely remembering seeing this guy who was like really sweaty, like on TV, and dancing with some girl, and that's my like early memory. And then, but what's funny enough, like my dad actually had this experience, I guess, with U2 before I was even born. My dad grew up in this pretty rough part of Belfast, on the Protestant side, in the Shankill Road. And he had this kind of dramatic, I guess, conversion, this kind of spiritual experience, where he says that God arrested him before the police could, so my dad was like a real hard man. And so he became this kind of zealous, itinerant preacher and missionary. And he would tell us a story about him going to, later on about him going to Dublin, and going to some wee church there, and talking to Bono on the Edge.
Oh, wow.
Some guy, Chris Rowe or something, this wee group, but that was before I had any interest in U2, so it didn't really impress me or anything. He was trying to impress me, but and so I grew up in this kind of strange atmosphere, though. I guess might have been similar to them, that was because of my dad's his experience. You're almost kind of folded upwards from that, kind of dead end dialectic, Protestants, Catholics thing, and
Right.
Love is blindness. I don't wanna see. Won't you wrap the night around me? Oh, my heart. Love is blindness.
And you mentioned there was a really somewhat strange Small World tie-in with some family names.
oh no, yeah, I didn't realize that until actually their recent album, where I guess Bono's mum is the name of one of the songs, Iris. That my mum and dad are actually called Bobby and Iris Mearns, which is a bit weird.
Yeah.
Because Ireland's Northern Ireland, it's not like a big place. I guess
Right.
it's like 6 million
Right.
people together.
Yeah.
And so I always thought Iris was a strange name because my mum's maiden name was Seeds, so it was like Iris Seeds.
Wow.
I always remembered that as strange
Interesting.
because even as a child I knew that irises were bulbs.
Yeah. That was a little play on.
Yeah, Iris
Interesting.
Seeds before she met my dad.
Yeah, I've only
So-
known one Iris in
Isn't that,
my
I
life.
know,
It is
isn't
a
that weird? Isn't
unique-
that strange?
Yeah,
name?
yeah.
And so my
you
mum and
shared-
dad are called Bobby and Iris Mearns, and that was like a wee weird thing.
In my dream I was drowning my sorrows. My sorrows, they learned how to swim. They were surrounding me, going down on me, spilling right over the brim.
But growing up, I was not interested in what I would think of now as serious pop music. I was just I kind of started playing I played violin growing up, and a guy from the Ulster Orchestra would come and teach us in school, and when I was 10, my brother's mate came around and started playing Johnny Be Good on acoustic guitar, and I was just like, well, man,
That's so
that's
much
so
better.
much cooler than a violin. And my brother was he was this Leonard Skinner fan in Northern Ireland. He had all these bootlegs and stuff of Leonard Skinner in their golden age, and so I think my dad heard me playing the Freebird solo on my violin, plucking it, pluck, 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 pluck,
He's like,
pluck,
oh,
pluck.
he's not long for the violin.
And it's better get him a guitar.
Yeah.
So I got a guitar, and that was at the height of all that kind of widdly guitar music, and really captured my imagination at the time. And so through that I got into jazz and classical guitar, kind of through all that widdly stuff actually. And by the time when we moved to America, I moved there when I was 16. I was playing a lot of serious classical guitar.
To what you've got, when all you got is hurt. One love, one blood, one life. You've got to do what you should. One life.
I didn't really take pop music that seriously. It was always in the back of your mind. We'd go to my brother's house and almost indulge him. We'd play some Eagles songs and a few U2 songs. and some Leonard Skinner songs.
Of course.
And it was just kind of there. But then he mentioned one of his friends, and are good friends of both of us, this guy Greg Millsaps, actually bought me and my brother tickets to the Elevation tour
Good
in
friend.
Charlotte. Because it wasn't, I don't know, it was like $100 or something. It was like
Yeah, that would have been
expensive.
Elevation was
It's 2001 or 2000,
Something like that,
something
yeah.
like that. But yeah, we just kind of went to that, and I tell you what, that concert was just like this kind of epiphany. It was like this road to Damascus experience, just in my regard for pop music, and it was just the most electric, powerful, artistic thing that I'd ever experienced.
and not expecting it all. I'm
Not
sure.
a, well. I mean, I did have this kind of vague understanding and respect for U2 and the Beatles and blah blah blah, but it wasn't something I'd thought about like I thought about Bach and Prokofiev and Chopin. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I went to this concert, and it was just, even before they came on, it was just so electric, and it was just so powerful. Not just because of the sheer volume, but there was just something in the air in that tour that actually changed my life, and like this weird artistic crossroads. And since that night, I wouldn't feel normal if I didn't write songs. I just like this coal was put in me to write songs,
Right.
and that's what I've been doing ever since. So U2 was not, that was a very dramatic thing for me, more late in life, when I was about 19 or so, where I had this dramatic kind of conversion to pop music in a weird way, So
So fast forward to now.
well, yeah, that's a weird thing. Whenever I had a band for a while called Airspace, and I, that kind of went for a while, and until it wasn't feasible anymore, and then I started getting this sound of just me and the guitar, which was almost like this, like the kind of sound that I would get, if I was trying out a song and just singing it for my wife,
Right.
in the bedroom, and just like, check this out, this one-on-one kind of sound,
Walk on by, walk on through, walk till you run, and don't look back, for here I am.
It's also songs that probably most people are used to hearing pretty loud.
Absolutely. Well, yeah,
Right?
there are
I mean,
these there are these enormous sounds that are that are very inspiring, and the idea, like when I think of like, oh, did you really do a cover of Where the Streets Have No Name, or or With or Without You? That almost sounds embarrassing. These iconic songs that you couldn't really think of covering, but in a weird way, just sometimes they just come to you. But it is weird, that kind of that dichotomy, of their big sound, and these just enormous albums, and these are just single takes, with an acoustic guitar with one mic, most
Fairly
of them,
intimate, yeah.
like as intimate, as it gets, Yeah, I recorded them all with no pants on too.
Very intimate.
Yeah, it got very intimate eventually.
Been alive, I'm only asking, but I think you know. Come on, take me away. Come on, take me away. disappear into the sea. Not a tear, no, not I. Stay this time. Stay tonight in a light. Ever after is loving time. If you save your love, save